Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Digwitz of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this. Make sure you check your blind spot. So it's come up in a couple of different scenarios. And a few weeks ago, we're driving and I'm switching lanes and another car is switching lanes. And my wife is telling me, you didn't even look in the mirror, right? You got your side mirrors. You didn't even look. And I'm like, well, of course I did. The little light wasn't flashing. Why? Because in our cars, we have this little light on our side mirrors that basically tells us if there's a car in our quote unquote blind spot. And then a couple days ago, I see a student driver. That's kind of hard to miss. There's like stickers all over the vehicle. It's something like student driver in training, or stay back driver in training, or whatever it is. There's a couple of these stickers on the car, and I got to laughing as the car switched the lane because I got to thinking about this whole blind spot thing. And I drive a Cadillac Escalade, and my wife, as you know, if you've listened to us, you know that we have a beautiful, beautiful Pacifica S. It's like the sports version, I guess. And so, but she has, now that she got this vehicle, she has the same thing. She's got these detectors on the side that will tell you if there's somebody in your blind spot. And yet what I found in driving my car and her van is that you still got to look over your shoulder. You still got to look, and if you've taken any sort of driver's ed over the course of the last 100 years, you know that they say to look over your shoulder, look completely, because most vehicles have a place that's known as a blind spot. A spot that you just can't see through. And there could be a car lurking or hiding there. There could be a gremlin hiding there. I don't know. That's from a movie reference, 1980s. Go back and check it out. So anyway, so you check your blind spot, and that way when you're changing lanes, you're not going to hit somebody as you're changing lanes or cause an accident. And so it got me to thinking, though, as everything does, it just got me to thinking about how this little light on my side mirror has made me lazy, folks. The light on the side of my mirror has made me lazy because instead of looking all the way over my right shoulder to look behind me, and all the way over my left shoulder to look behind me, yes, I'm doing this while I'm talking to you, instead of looking all that distance, I just look to the left, I look to the right, maybe 45-degree angle, 30-degree, not even 45, maybe 30-degree angle, just turn, and I'm going. It's made me lazy. That little light I have allowed. The light didn't make me lazy, folks. I allowed the little light to give me an excuse to be lazy, to not look over my shoulder. Think about that. And now for those of you who have the little light on the side mirrors, you're like, holy shit, I do the same thing. I just look and go. You hit the blinker, you look in your little spot, and you go. It's made us lazy. So the question, and this is where this is all going, land the plane, Troy, get us there. Well, we're there, folks, because where this is taking us is to a place that says, where in your life have you allowed yourself to get lazy? Just straight up. For me, I know it's driving. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've gotten lazy. I've gotten lazy driving, one of the easiest things to do in life, and I even made it more lazy by not looking all the way over. So now when I'm driving, I'm making sure I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm making sure I'm looking all the way back. I'm looking all the way back. I'm not saying I'm perfect at this now, but it brought awareness to me that thought, man, dude, like for the amount of time it takes you to just look all the way over, like that's the difference between an accident and not. Then I got some pretty precious cargo just in my car alone with my wife and my children. Like, why not just look over the shoulder? And then you go, oh, well, shit, if I'm going to use this analogy in my entire life, where else in my life am I being lazy? I go, okay, well, let's look at my health. Because, I have some pretty precious cargo in my life, so don't I want to be as healthy as I possibly can? So how are my workouts? Am I taking the lazy way out in my workouts, or is there another level I could be attacking here? And look at my spirituality, my connection to God, and connection to self, and connection to purpose. And the more driven I am by my purpose, the more I can affect my health and my relationships and my business. So, man, if I'm being lazy there, I better reload and find a way to pick up the pace there. And then I go, okay, what about my relationships? Have I gotten lazy? Have I taken my wife for granted or my kids for granted? And all that means is that I've gotten lazy. Maybe my notes to my wife that I do every single day, maybe I've gotten lazy and they just haven't been well thought through. Maybe my notes for my kids I stopped doing every day. And, oh shit, well I need to reload on that and put more thought into those and maybe be more creative in how I present those to them. Oh my gosh, well that means I've been being lazy in my relationships. And I look at my business, where have I been lazy in my business? Well, I'm showing up late. We're not really having team meetings. I'm coming in unprepared because things are going good. I don't need to put extra effort in right now, so I've gotten lazy there as well. You see, it's so crazy that unless you put some energy and focus into it, you may realize the same thing, that in your life, you're running on 4 areas of laziness. It's time to up the game. So I just want you to take this very, very simple task, look at your life across body, being, balance, and business, And where is it in your life that you're being lazy? Identify it. Here's the area of my life. Just write them down right now. Don't put this off. That's being lazy. Write them down right now. Where are these areas in my life that I know I'm being lazy? And what's the new, renewed action I can take that is going to up the game in my life? Now, don't just write shit for the sake of writing it. Write it because you mean it. Write it because you realize and listening to this like, oh my gosh, I've gotten lazy. Exactly what Troy's saying right now, I've gotten lazy. Because for most people, it's a 5% shift. Literally. If you were just to change 5% of your focus right now in each one of those areas of your life, body, being, balance, and business, if you were to just change and have a 5% shift in those areas, the next 30 days of your life will be unrecognizable because you will have upped your game in 4 different categories. Think about that. All because you're willing to move from lazy to action, lazy to next level, lazy to consistently growing. All too often we think that that's such this big, huge leap of where we have to go. And in actuality, you're just one step away. So roll up your sleeves right now. Do this exercise, folks. Please don't wait. Do this exercise right now. Where in my life am I being lazy? And what am I now newly committed to? For those of you who do email me, man, shoot me an email, drtroy@commitandgo.com, and let me know what you're committing to as a result of this. And as always, if you have questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, head over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. Make sure that you rate and or review this podcast. And last but not least, head on over to www.commitandgo.com. Check out the site. Find out more about myself, Dr. Troy Dukowitz. It might be time. It might be time that we have a conversation to take your lazy ass to the next level. That means getting on the phone, talking about the possibility of coaching, but for sure making sure that you have action steps that are going to move you either way, whatever we decide. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.